You were selling the stuff.
No, absolutely not. No.
No.
If you check your facts, you'll see that. First of all, trafficking implies the definition of giving drugs in addition. Like selling is only part of it. So trafficking does not imply selling in all cases. So in my situation, by me prescribing it inappropriately, compelled a pharmacist who's an innocent agent to give prescription narcotic medications. So if you're at a party with somebody, let's say, and you share a joint with somebody, that is trafficking. That is trafficking. It doesn't have to have money involved. So the judge in my case made it very clear that he understood that this was not, even the Crown Attorney understood this was, and the police understood this was not a case of me selling anything. There was no financial gain. The trafficking in my case was to feed my habit.
Okay, Darryl, can you hang on, pardon me, for just a second, because I'd like to come back and based on what you've been through, what's happened in your life, what do you see as possible solutions in this? We have the government, you hear the commercials all the time. Is that part of the solution? What else do you see? Maybe a few points that we can look at here, because this has become a crisis in this country. So
Huge.
If you can hang on for a moment. It is 7:42 on your Sunday morning. We're the Motts.
Sunday morning with the Motts on In-Depth Radio, News Talk 1010.
The Academy Awards go tonight in Hollywood, and coming up after the 8 o'clock news, we'll be talking about who's been nominated and who might win.
At the moment, we are speaking with Darryl Gebien, who's a former emergency room doctor whose life just hit the skids, basically. Successful doctor. He ends up on Percocet, goes to fentanyl, and just things spiraled downward in his personal life and obviously in his professional life. It has been a long road coming back. He spent 8 months in jail. He's talking to us about what happened to him, but now how he is trying to change that road for other people and what he can do about it. Now, Darryl, our listeners have been obviously hearing what you've said about this, and we're getting some texts on this at 7:10:10. Out of London, morning, such a brave man to share his cautionary tale with us. Thank you and best wishes. That's Doug in London. But this from St. Catharines. Am I supposed to feel sorry for a doctor who should have known better? He got what he deserved. Only he should be dead by now. That would have been nature's justice. So you have people on really diametrically opposed sides of this. I guess that's not a surprise to you. I'm sure you're getting both things here.
Yeah, fortunately, most of the stuff I get is love, not hate. I get a lot of, I'm very fortunate to get a lot of positive feedback on Facebook and other social media. So the second one is that's a very toxic comment, and I'd like to say to that nature had it that I survived. So it's too bad. Sorry. I'm here to make it better.
Yeah, that went into a really dark place from that person, but that you should have known better. What do you say to that? You are a doctor. You of all people know the dangers, right?
Of course, and I'm human first and foremost, and people make mistakes. I made a series of mistakes, and I'm capable of learning and improving my ways, and that's what the moral of the story is. It was a very dark situation, what happened to me in my life, but I'm on the upswing now, and focusing on just the negative is probably not the right story here. I mean, I've made it through this. Yes, I knew better, but that was a very distant, quiet voice compared to the power of addiction, or the power of it. Extremely strong, and like I said, of course, I'm blameworthy. I made mistakes getting into in the beginning, but this is the power of an opioid addiction. It takes over people's rational thought, and it's very insidious. It is very intense, and it's very, very hard to get off of it. And this is affecting people
looking
from
at
all
this
walks of
now.
life.
So looking at this now, Darryl, how do you help people? Either is it stay away from it or recognize when they are in the midst of it? What are you saying to people? What do governments need to do? What do we all need to do?
Okay, as a healthcare provider, which I'm not currently working on, but I would be saying when it's prescribed for somebody, there's nothing wrong with using an opioid, but it needs to be used with caution. I think a big warning needs to be placed verbally on whoever the prescriber is to tell the patient this is potentially addictive. However, if you use it as prescribed and not any more frequently, not in larger doses than prescribed, then there won't be any problems. Should they feel some discomfort if they suddenly cease taking medications, then they should let their doctor know. They can put them on a wean to reduce the dose so that they can come off of it comfortably. So this is what we weren't taught. When I was a resident, we weren't really told these instructions. We didn't understand how powerful these drugs were that we were prescribing. So that's the caution, is to let the patient know. People that are using it for abuse need to understand that they are playing with fire. And especially the younger people out there who are experimenting with drugs, and, for example, at a house party and someone breaks out a Percocet, or what they think is a Percocet, a white tablet, break it in half, and they share it, and they don't realize at that time that this could be 100% fentanyl, and could be, obviously can cause an overdose. So know what they're taking. First of all, of course, don't take it. Don't take drugs. Of course, that's the very first thing. But that's not, that approach is not always going to work. So the next step is harm reduction, to say, if you're going to take, then be smart about what you do, moderate your use, and know what you're taking.
Do you hope to practice medicine again?
Yes, I hope so. I mean, it's been a very long road. There are many hoops I'm going to be jumping through. I need to stand before the College of Physicians and explain to them candidly, openly, what I did and what I'm doing to fix it. And I'm currently in a very strong program of recovery, where I go to an aftercare group, which is for recovering people. I go to a caduceus group, which is for recovering healthcare professionals. I go to 12-step meetings. I see my addictionist, who's a specialist physician. I do random urine monitoring tests as well. So I'm doing all the right things, and this speaks volumes for itself. I think I'll be that much better of a physician after all of these experiences. So yes, I hope for it. It's not in my hands. It'll be up to the College of Physicians, their disciplinary committee,
right.
And I just hope for the best.
If you get your license back, would you let your patients know of your past?
It depends on the situation. I mean, I don't think it's not a requirement by the college. There'd be restrictions as well, but it's not like you have to post a sign. For example, with in other situations, they have to post a sign. But no. But if let's just say it's somebody who's in recovery, and I'm trying to reach out to them, as a professional, you're not supposed to give anything about your own self. Like it's not supposed to be about you. But unofficially, sometimes if I'm reaching out to somebody, I could share a little bit of my past experience. Say, like, we share something in common here, and I know what it's like. I know it's difficult to get help. So yeah, I think in that particular situation, I would share that information.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe that's where you would shine right now, wouldn't it be?
Absolutely.
If everything you say is so, that all of the things, and that you really realize now how those things all came about and how it came together, which it sounds like you've got a pretty good handle on it, what happened, then maybe your experience, maybe you need to write a book, maybe you need to do things or speak on, maybe the government would bring you in as someone that has a specialty now, because you've been there, done that, and you are lucky to be alive today.
Absolutely. The one thing we didn't discuss, I also did 6 months of inpatient rehab, and this was before I went to prison. So that was life-changing. So by 3 different ways I'm experienced here as somebody in long-term recovery from the opioids, including fentanyl, somebody who went to went to rehab, both inpatient and outpatient, and somebody who went to prison. And so that does qualify me as somebody who can speak. I never would have thought to help people that I can actually help people in a much larger capacity from this perspective than I ever could as an emergency physician. So this is amazing. Instead of looking at things, the glass, half empty, it's like glass half full. And how can I give back? And it's very exciting. So yes, I've been in touch with the government from the federal level. They don't really have a position available per se, but I'm making myself available as a consultant. I want to speak out, public speaking. I want to speak with youth and young adults. Life coaching, for example. I want to write a book. Yes, I've started that actually already, and it's exciting to see where this is going.
Darryl, listen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And people can find you on Facebook as well, right? They can connect with you there.
Yeah, and there is an opioid strategy that I am developing, and it's posted on my personal Facebook, and people can find it there. So I know we didn't get to that in the conversation, but yes, there are solutions to getting out of this crisis. We are losing the war against the opioid crisis, and I have some solutions suggested.
We appreciate your
thanks,
joining
Darryl,
us.
and good luck.
Thank you so much. Yes, good luck to you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's Darryl Gebien, former emergency room doctor who fell to fentanyl and has worked his way back. When we come back, we will be talking about the Oscars with Ben Harrison, our producer. It's 3 minutes in front of 8 on your Sunday morning. We're the Motts.